Good evening. I'm Curtis Bauer with Reforging Families. I'm grateful to the Iowa legislature that Senate File 514 is being brought forward. A bill for an act relating to temporary orders for child custody and dissolution proceedings. It requires the court to order joint physical care, also known as 50-50 shared parenting, at temporary matters unless it's not in the best interest of the child pursuant to the current factors already in the Iowa Code. Some members of the shared parenting lobby are upset with this bill because they want a rebuttable presumption with a minimum of clear and convincing evidence. So, while that would be nice, child custody, paternity, and divorce, they're all states' issues pursuant to the 10th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Many chime in and state that parental rights are protected in the First, Fourth, Fifth, Ninth, and 14th Amendments. And they're correct. They are. However, you're also balancing the best interests of the child next to the parental rights of the parent. When evaluating the constitutionality of a statute, even, a balancing test is performed. So, given the incrementalism that Iowa has been known to have, and we see this in many different things. We've seen it in concealed carry from a may to shall issue to now we have a constitutional carry where people are not required to have concealed carry permits anymore for handguns. We've got a number of issues that are just like that. And honestly, what this does is it sets up the statistics and the data to be developed, right? So many in the movement are really, really squawking. They're lashing out, they're speaking up, and they dislike this. This amendment cleans up the language. So there is an amendment. So basically, we have to lay out increments because, one, we don't want to go too far too fast. And that does make sense. Another thing is, if you want bipartisan support, you have to get both sides of the aisle bought in to the fact that, hey, let's make a move forward and see what the data says. While we all know what the data really does say, because we've seen study after study after study, this does not hurt because we are changing the parameters ever so slightly. And we'll be able to detect nuances in those data sets. It makes sense to do this. So it lays the groundwork for those changes to take place over years. Yes. However, that also ensures its longevity and the stability of that law, of the legislative intent for 50-50 in the event of divorce or separation of parents. To the naysayers of the amendment, which does clean up the language of Senate File 514, it also makes it more fluid. You can say what you want. You can say it how you want. You have that First Amendment right. Sure. However, please know, you're only hurting your credibility and potentially harming the rest of the movement by doing so. You want to die on that hill? Fine. You don't want to abandon your ego? Fine. There's a reason why we have thousands of years of myths, thousands of years of proverbs, stories. I mean, Icarus, his hubris got the best of him. Set your ego aside. If you build this with time, thoughtful longevity as the goal, you will move this into a position where it can't be taken down. So, would you rather save the most kids by this bill right now or none at all? I know what I'm going to do. I'm saving who I can. Your all or none approach serves only to harm kids and parents. Set the stage. Let go of your egos. However, because egos are what got us into this predicament in the first place. Let them go. Do the right thing. Support the bill. Stop being a stick in the mud. You're holding up progress. Hope you all have a great night. God bless.